right, so we're going to be dealing with the metric system here. And when we do that, we've got to figure out how to convert from one form to the other. So I'm going to write out some letters on the top. And as we look at these letters, they stand for kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centimilla. You'll find some places that turn this B into a U for unit. That's fine as well. Now I should mention when we talk about this base, or U for unit, that could stand for a whole bunch of different things. So it could be meters, it could be liters, it could be grams, it could be lots of things, it could be joules. It's anything where you take a kilometer, a kiloliter, or a kilogram, or maybe you have a millimeter, or a milliliter, or a milligram. So that base is basically the root word. All right, back to our lesson. And that base in the center stands for a value of 1. The deca is a 10, hecto is 100, kilo is 1,000. If we go down the other way, we've got 0.1, 0.01, and 0.001. We can also write these as exponents. This is a 10 to the 0. This is a 10 to the 1, 10 to the second, and 10 to the third power. We go the opposite way. We have 10 to the negative 1, 10 to the negative 2, and 10 to the negative 3. Now that's a whole bunch of stuff up there, but really we just need to come back to those letters, and that's how we're going to convert. So if I take a problem like 45 centimeters equals question mark kilometers, I've got to figure this out. I'm going to go back to those letters. I'm going to write down, and I'm going to say I'm starting from centimeters. So I'm going to put a dot underneath my C because that's where I'm starting from, centa, and I'm moving to kilo. So I'm going to go all the way to this spot. So I'm going to take jumps. I just took 5 jumps this way. I started at centa, went to kilo, 5 jumps that way. I'm going to take my number 45, put that out here. I've got to move my decimal 5 to the left, just like I did up here. Now, we don't see a decimal up here, but just like $45, 45 has a decimal at the end. And now I'm going to move 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just made little baskets, and inside of those baskets, I'm going to place zeros. Not on the spikes, but in the baskets. So my new answer for this is 0.00045 kilometers. I've just turned 45 centimeters into a new unit. It is now 0.00045 kilometers. Let's say we take 3,008 millimeters equals question mark hectometers. In this situation, I'm going to write out my K, H, D, B, D, C, M. I'm going to start at M, and now I'm moving to hecto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've just moved 5 jumps to the left. I take my number 3,008. Let's move it 5 spots to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I fill in this with a 0, and I get a final answer of 0.03008, and that is now in hectometers. There's my answer. Let's try one a little more tricky. I'm going to say that I take 17 M equals question mark centimeters. In this case, I write out KHD BDCM. And for this one, it says M, and you get stuck because you don't know what that M stands for. Many people are going to go right here, but that's incorrect. These are not 17 millas. You can't have 17 milla. If it was millimeters, it'd be mm. So since it just says m, we know that must stand for base. Well, the meters is going to be found right here. And now I'm going to go from here to centa, which is 1, 2. 2 jumps to the right. So I take my number of 17, my decimal's starting right here. I go 1, 2. I fill those spots in with zeros, and I get an answer of 1,700 centimeters. That's the final answer. So one more thing to pass on here. Sometimes we see the prefixes of mega, micro, and nano. And these are on that same list, but they're more spaced out. So you can see the exponents that go along with them and the values that they are. So those are 3 that we see used in science. You could still use this jumping or skipping method on these. You just have to know where they're placed at the 10 to the 6, 10 to the negative 6, and 10 to the negative 9th place.